What up, fam? How we doing, man? Y'all good
Hey,
today?
Mos, how y'all feeling
Good.
today? How y'all feeling today, man?
Blessed
How y'all
and highly
feeling?
favored, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful, man. Perspective is everything, y'all.
Man, I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna lie, man. I look forward to these Sundays. I ain't gonna lie. I look forward to coming in and having these conversations.
What? To be in the presence of KG, man?
Righteous.
Like, come on, man.
Hey, man.
And Lloyd,
listen,
my boy
hey,
Lloyd.
Hey,
You know
listen,
what I mean?
listen,
You know what I
listen.
mean?
I understand that you want to spend more time with me because I'm your father, but chill
Making
with
up for
all
lost
that.
time. That's what it is. That's all this is, bro.
Hey, man. It is what it is. It is what
Yo, fellas. This episode, I'm gonna throw this. Let me sure we good. Okay. False accusations. I'm gonna jump straight into it, man. False accusations in regards to the two sexes. Lloyd, I'm gonna toss it at you, man. False accusations, bro.
False accusations, honestly, man, is one of the worst things a man can experience because it could tarnish his life. It could get him incarcerated. It could also get him killed. Like, there have been plenty of times
Facts.
where a woman's word overpowered a man's word, and society will go on the woman's side before even hearing out the man. Oh, he sexually harassed me. But she could have just been drunk and she consented at that moment, but woke up and just like, I have a different feel now, and I'm about to say, hey, you raped me, and ruin that man's whole reputation.
You can even if you have sex with somebody and it's agreed that it's consensual, they can actually say that it was rape. How do you say it? Based on they felt intimidated and they didn't say anything, and that's their reasoning for not like. I always thought that was wild, man.
But that's
like
the
there's
me-
nothing. It's so much that's tangible when it comes to like the courting process, I guess, to be honest, man.
But that's the messed up part about it, because even when they find out that man is innocent, they just walk away scot-free. But that man is still damaged after all them goddamn trials and tribulations he had to face because of what she said. Facts.
What type of what would be a fitting punishment for a chick that's caught in
20 years in prison.
minimum?
What we talking about? 20
That'll
years.
stop a whole lot of false
20
accusations.
years.
That'll kill that right there, won't it?
Because the problem with most women is they fear accountability. They deflect on trying to or actually hold themselves accountable, and we notice that.
How you feel?
Man, I'm always for me. It's always two sides to the story when it comes to anything for me. So I agree wholeheartedly with what you said, Lloyd. My thing is that it's just as bad on the men's side. I just think it seems worse, or it is worse, because in real time, men can be sent to prison for false accusations, and women necessarily can't. You know what I mean? So let's say, and we were talking off camera about a situation where you're involved with a dude is involved with a girl. Maybe they get to a point where they don't have sex, but maybe they had a little moment, and then the guy goes around spreading whatever about a girl. Oh, she did this, she got this, she went with this person, she wild. That does a lot to ruin a woman's reputation. And all it takes is one guy to tell one friend, then he tells one friend. Then the next friend says, "Oh, I hit that too."
She for the streets.
Yeah.
for the streets.
But you see, the difference is it won't put her in jail. That's just rumors.
Listen, I agree, but that reputation for a woman can be very detrimental. There we go.
Righteous.
And that can ruin a person, especially a woman's confidence and ability to act as himself and maneuver as himself in an environment, right? And I'm only bringing this up because I don't want to make this a woman bashing thing. Because granted, mainly this is more leaned towards women because men are affected tremendously every day by false accusations. Especially if we really want to talk, is a thing with white women and black men. Like that's a huge one.
Yeah.
Like where it's like they're
Yeah.
And I'm like, have I been in that situation? No, I haven't been in that situation, but I know enough people where they were like, when something happened with them and this Caucasian women, they'd be like, "Well, I'm gonna tell such and such that you did such and such."
Yeah.
Like that's a real threat.
That was
You know
one of
what I
my
mean?
biggest fears, considering. I mean, I mess with a high volume of white women, and it was always in the
Not
back
a
of my
high
mind.
volume. You shoot a high clip. Shoot a high clip.
I mean, they just have an affinity for the kid, man. Nah, I'm messing with you. But truth be told, that was always, I think, that's always in the back of my mind. I mean, in particular with white women, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But women in general, that's why I kind of understand where he's coming from. I feel like the maximum penalty just for what dudes have to the destruction of your reputation as a man that potentially did stuff like that to a woman, it's like it's just not fair, bro. Cause they and I feel like because they do it so easily, it's like reputation destruction for a woman is far more it's like they just do it.
But there, for me, you know what it is? It's because, and Lloyd said it, there's no accountability for women when it comes to that, and really anything, right? The system is meant to benefit women,
Yes.
right? Just anything when it relates to involvement with a man, it leans heavy to the women, to take care of the woman, like to protect a woman, to protect the children and the mother, right? There's nothing that really benefits us outside of, and let me not say us, that benefits men outside of the fact of, in certain things we're expected, we're looked at to be leaders. If somebody walks into a building, they're going to look at a man and a woman, they're going to lean towards the man's going to be the leader, most likely going to make more money, and most likely is going to get that extra look when it comes to maybe a role, a position, a job, maybe a role in a situation, right? So I'm not gonna say it's even, but in a lot of ways, women don't get the short end of the stick as well. And then we do as well. It's not balanced, but it is in a way, in my mind.
I know. I actually understand what you're saying. Like everyone,
it's not balanced, but it's like we all have. It's a push and pull, right? It is.
If you want, dude, just
that's Gucci. It's good. It's
you
good.
got it.
It's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
I completely get what you're saying. It's not fair. Life ain't fair. So it's like everybody has that role to play, and it's like everybody has their advantages, disadvantages to being their own particular gender. I completely get that.
But let's be completely honest, though. Women have more of an advantage.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It depends on your perspective.
I'll say this, because men have been able to operate as they've wanted to for hundreds of years. Women haven't. That's why I say women don't have the advantage. So as far as women making false accusations, that's more prevalent now than it was maybe 80 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if people really care 80 years ago. But women,
like I made the reference to Joseph in the Bible. They did care.
Fair. I'm just, as far as again, it's only if you believe in the Bible. And I'm not saying I don't believe in the Bible. But in reference,
but then again, I refer to that because, and that's why I believe in it, because if it happened back then and it's happening now, then it has to be authentic.
What he's saying is there was a moral attachment. Even in the Bible, there's a moral understanding that, if was it false speech? You know what I think? Anything that could tarnish somebody in a way to where it's like conniving like that, it's just wrong. Even the Bible kind of understands that. It's like, at the end of the day,
thou shalt not bear false witness.
Yeah. It's like, it's once again, I don't know. It's just wrong, man. But nobody speaks to it. It's
I agree. It also is wrong to beat women, and I feel like that's been around for forever. And it was looked over because of, that's a man being a man. Or you're not supposed to do this. You should have dinner ready at 5 p.m. Or you should be doing this. Or you should be taking care of them. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I hear that, but I also think about it as like, there's a lot of things that have been acceptable for men for a long time that was just overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's and I'm not trying to justify either side. I'm just saying I think it's, if you can find something, you can find something on either end. Like, as far as false accusations, I absolutely believe that there should be a minimum penalty. Whatever the time is, I don't know how you determine that. 5, 10 years. I think 5 years would do it. I think 1 year would do it, being honest.
It's like, bro,
I think 1 year would do it, just because I don't know because women don't have the fear of just going to prison.
They don't.
That's not a real fear for them, right? Unless they're doing something that they know comes with time. But if you're reckless like that, a year in prison is scary.
But the reason why false accusations towards a man is so detrimental, because even men side with them too, and now you have to battle with men. Your counterpart, like, you have to battle with the same people. Like, it's like, bro, how you going against me? That means you've never really been through nothing. You never, like, women set up men all the time.
Master manipulators.
They play mind games. They always doing some type of manipulation.
This motherfucker about to have a stroke.
Calm
down, bro.
Because look, bro, it's the truth though. They play. Look, you like, bro, I'm telling you the truth. Women set up men all the time. You can have a female that you think really like you. She messing with you the whole time. She just about to take your life for somebody else. She about to rob you. Oh yeah, he a lick. He over here. Come on, we seen it with Samson and Delilah. I'm sorry I have to refer to the Bible, but I'm a spiritual man, and it's happening in the present. It happens too
Yep.
often. That's why they always say never bring a woman to most women to your house. A woman that you can't trust, that you really don't know that well, to your home.
But I don't know.
Shit, I would say don't bring anybody.
I'm about to say
like
you
that.
can say you can say that. I know that to be true about friends or
Righteous.
homies or whatever you want to call them. And you bring them to your crib. That's very consistent. Now, as far as that mentality, I think that again that goes back to a lack of accountability for women when it comes to them doing things. I don't think it's nature. I think it's more of nurture. I think the world has protected women so much that they've gotten to the point where they just think that they're untouchable when it comes to a lot of things.
But that's the messed up part about it all, because they're untouchable. Like, the thing is, I learned from Chris Rock, right? Okay, in this world, the only things that get love unconditionally is women, children, and animals.
Mm-hmm.
Men, we get love under the condition that we could provide.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so true.
It's one of my favorite quotes by Chris Rock, without question. But I don't know, man. I just feel like men have had a great go at it for a long time, and I'm not saying it's justified.
There we go.
I don't believe it.
I'm just saying.
The thing is, men had to.
I'm just saying.
Men had to go out, fight the wars, the battles. You know how much men got killed in wars while women were at home taking care of their seeds, and even committing adultery.
I'm trying to think. What's more important, going to war or taking care of the future?
Going to war.
I don't know if I believe that. I really don't know if I believe that.
Because there won't be a future.
I don't know.
Wait, what are we talking about right now?
I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that.
So I could be taking care of my family. We at home. Next thing you know, we got Afghanistan all in our shit. Yo, AKs in my face.
I think I get it.
My point being is they're equally important. I don't think one's more important. That's my point.
Okay.
I'm not saying that neglect the war. I'm just saying I can't honestly say that. Hey, yeah, a man going to war for the next 5 years, but kids don't get taken care of. What are you going to war for? What are you going to war for if you go to war for 5 years and then nothing at home gets taken care of? Your house don't get taken care of. Your bills don't get paid. Your kids are acting reckless or whatever it may be, right? So what's the point of the war? What are you fighting for if nothing's getting taken care of?
But this is why the woman is at home maintaining it while I'm out there warring, trying to protect them.
I get that. I'm just saying I think they're equally important. Just saying I can't say one's more important than the other.
I have to say that because I could lose my life.
Then bingo. I always say
women lose their life giving birth every day.
Righteous.
Like it was like.
But hold on, I think that was a little. I think that was an extreme example because yes, the potential to lose your life, like giving birth, is very much there.
The potential that happens really often, man.
It does. It does. But at the same time, when you out on the battlefield, you could possibly lose your life.
Man, people go to the military as a joke, especially in the U.S. Like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that.
That's a real thing. Like, what are we talking? I know the fact y'all laughing. No, I'm not lying. It's like, what are we talking about?
To me, that's a testament. That's a testament to the current state of America.
Man, whatever.
No, seriously. That wasn't always the case, bro.
It wasn't always the case. But I'm just saying, like, that's the thing, though. People go there like, oh, I'm gonna go to the military. I'm gonna rack up this check. We'll get this. What they get? Like a freaking Chevy? Not a Chevy. It's always the same car, bro. Like it irritates me.
Impala?
Yeah, it's like Impala or dang, it's always the same vehicle. Either way, they get a little couple $1,000, think they balling out control, and then they ain't never doing anything.
That's because how America was founded. We've put ourselves in a certain position, man. Like in the world, like I think at the end of the day, like everything does have its time. We are witnessing modern day Babylon, bro. At the end of the day, man, like things started off good, but people, I feel like if you don't.
How did things start off good? Please explain that. Like, what do you mean started off good? What's good?
All right, one. Now, this is going to be a very controversial statement I'm about to make, but I'm not looking at it from the racial component. I don't box myself in like that. I'm talking about America as a country, the ideals it was founded upon. Feel how you may about the actual process. But America was built up to be one of the more, it's a dominant superpower in the world. That's undeniable. That wasn't off the bat. It's like blood is, you know what? I'm getting better about doing this. We got to be honest, man. Nothing great in this world comes without sacrifice, right?
Of course.
I look at all the bullshit that, anybody has to go through in America as part of that sacrifice. The American dream goes hand in hand with the really fucked up part of America. And if you need, all right, it's tough to, it's a very vague thing, man, but it's like, yes, I'm sorry, bro.
You believe that it was important for slavery and all the bad things that was done at the beginning of the country.
It sucks.
To build the foundation for what we are now.
You will not find any nation that didn't go through. It's like, in order to attain a certain level of, greatness, you have to not give a fuck about some things. That is, and I mean greatness in the physical world. From that standpoint, it's like if you're being honest about it, that's the truth, man. You can't. You gotta. Something has to get sacrificed.
Somebody's got to be left behind.
Yeah.
Somebody.
It sucks.
It's a big price to pay. Like, you gotta be around people you don't like. You gotta tolerate criticism, all types of shit. You gotta watch out for people that want to kill your ass. Women, they're gonna be flocking to you because women are a byproduct of success. We clearly see that every time a man becomes a high value man, he's with plethora of women.
Hypergamy, bro, that's one of the core things about it, bro. It's like if you are in a society where, because I always thought this was interesting. I've been looking into this too. If you make it more the norm that women can flock to like whatever guy they want, what you're gonna have is a lot of women going to one guy. If you're not top dog, it sucks. But it's like, that's, bro. I was a nerd growing up, man. Let me tell you, this is some real shit. I know what it's like to be that guy that just don't come. So you got to go out there and do things that are gonna be difficult. But it's like it's the conqueror mindset, bro. It's like you have to be like, if you want certain things, and I feel like that's what America was founded upon. Once again, freedom and liberty have to be, in a sense, earned. If I'm being real about it, man, I see no way around that, yo. Like, it sucks. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're looking at me like you're lost, bro.
I'm just listening, man. That's all.
Righteous.
I'm just listening.
My fault. Yeah. But that's real, man. It's seriously, yo. And I hate when people there's no perfect system in the world. You go out into the wild, it sucks, man. That, it's nature that you have to operate as if nature is real. So when he's saying what he's saying about women and the false accusations,
mm-hmm.
I personally take into account the deceitful nature of a woman. That's not every woman, but of a woman. Yes, you're going to have some good women that kind of are dominant. That's a beautiful thing. But women are just better at doing shit like that. That's all he's trying to address. So it's like, I look at it like, to me personally, all right, well, let me ask y'all. I'm solution oriented. This is why I like having these conversations, because I don't put the onus on women, because I know kind of how they are. You speaking to a man, you're like, yo, once again, it was one of my biggest fears. What do you tell another man to avoid a situation like that? You know what I mean? Like, to where, is it, for me personally, be mindful about, really thoroughly vet the women that you put you know what I mean? You got to be smart about who you hanging around in general. But if you're dealing with a woman, know that it can go that route. Don't willy-nilly just deal with any old type of woman. You got to thoroughly vet women. I think we've gotten away from that. Well, not you personally. I know you don't, you know what I mean? You've always had standards in regards to that. I respect that. But most men don't get that type of, bro. You know what I mean?
We don't, Lee. You the minority.
I don't think men ever have vetted women. Let's be honest.
I disagree with that.
When?
Well, hold on. The very fact that if you say something, or so any attempt you make at holding the women accountable is going to be like transmuted into some type of shaming. And it's like, in reality, no, you really just trying to have standards at this point. That's the truth. That is the hardcore truth, man. When men operate as kings, oh yeah, you're doing a lot of shaming because you have standards for what you're fucking with. You know who your dealings. You put a higher level of you put a higher standard on it.
I don't know, man.
We don't do that anymore because we don't even operate as kings. To be quite honest, we have no standards for ourselves. My personal, you know what I mean.
Just a quick note. I think the world naturally focus on the negative in life. I just really believe that. So my parents and just the generation before, not necessarily before me, but just 2 generations before me, say that the world has gotten a lot worse. It's just crazy. It's just a lot of stuff going on. I was like, I don't know if I believe that. I was like, I think all of these things were happening at all times, at every time and space in the world, right? I think the only difference is people are more open about what's going on. You got more cameras, right? Like, I don't think the world's more racist. I just think more races are just more prevalent. They have cameras, right? I don't think we just all of a sudden became entrepreneurs out of the blue. I think, when I say we, black people, I think we've had more access, we have more availability, we have more resources, we have better relationships. I don't think nothing's changed. I think there's just more of everything. So when I say everything, as far as things to put out what's going on, like, I don't think that anything's any different. I know statistics might say something different, but I think it's just the reality of we just know more about what's going on in the world now. 25 years ago, can you say you knew what was going on in Florida? Right?
But 25 years ago, and we come back to today, that means things have changed because everything evolves. Like, when you was 25, now you're
sorry, go ahead.
35.
Yeah. So for me, I think I'm big on. I had this conversation earlier this week. I don't believe in change. I believe in evolution. Was what you just said, right? So what we're saying, the conversation we're having is you guys are saying that things have changed. I just think things have evolved into, hey, this is what it is now. Like, it was that then. Aspects of what's going on today happened then. What's the phrase? As much things change, they all stay the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like people. I always talk to people like, oh, gay people. They're so prevalent now. I was like, nah, they've always been here. They just were hiding. Like, that's just the reality.
But there we go. Things changed now they could come out and express themselves.
Exactly, and that's
without
critical.
being.
Even if you study evolution, you can't, just because you understand the current state of a certain species, you still have to look back and know how it got to that point. And once you understand the nature of a thing, that's what I like to talk to y'all about, because I don't care how much the world changes, as long as you have two sexes and men and women, there's a very strong core of a nature that's there. It's just that societal engineering allows us to believe otherwise than what we know. That shit doesn't fool me. I've been in relationships. I've been in hardcore relationships. I've dealt with many women. And I'm starting to see, like you said, as much as things change, they stay the same. They really do. It's like, so I think we're in a time now. I think you understand that maybe to a fault, because I look at it like, for me personally, I like having this platform because we can speak to young brothers at the end of the day. And this is critical. I think the environment doesn't allow us to even speak. Like, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if we was to blow up, just the way that we talk, they probably shut that down simply because it's such a censored environment. It's like, I take that into account. Doesn't mean that what we're saying is right or wrong. It means that the environment matters. Evolution is real, but the environment is just as real. Now, you understand what I'm saying? If the environment changes, then whatever it is, so it's like, us as grown as men, it's like, we know better. We have an obligation to speak to it. That's all, especially, but I get it. As three grown men, we're also different, and our perspectives are different. Me and Lloyd just see it from a standpoint of the nature of a man is to be a certain way. If you deny that truth, I mean, it can really get ugly. And it I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not afraid, it's just being like, I
don't know, man. For me, I just don't, with anything, genders, anything, I don't particularly stick to the status quo, what things should or shouldn't be. One, because I know the reality of the world is we as people put ourselves in position to think that we're supposed to be a certain way until we figure out who we really are. And then we become who we really are, and we live in our truth, right? And living in your truth does not necessarily always align with what society wants you to be or what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I firmly believe that. And I think sometimes when you try to, and maybe it's about labeling, I don't know. I'm a person that don't like to be boxed in. And I feel like a lot of times when we have a conversation, it's about boxing a particular group in. And I think it's bigger than that. I think it's lack of perspective and lack of understanding.
I can understand that.
You know
See it from this perspective. What you just said is very accurate, but there's a flip side to that. Because if you don't box things in, we box things in all the time. You have to account for that. We have law. We have a body of law. That's based on people doing things. There's nothing. It's stuff right now that's illegal as hell. Why? Because man decided so. It's an amalgamation of people that have evolved over time, and over time they said, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right, this is right, this is right. Like, that's still very much a part of the world. You can't act as
But what if it's wrong? Alcohol was illegal at one point. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm aware.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. We can be wrong as humans. We can be wrong as people, and that's what I mean by that. It's like lack of perspective. Like, there's conversations right now going on that at one point cocaine or certain drugs is just going to be legal because who are we to say, unless it's a violent drug, who are we to say what you put in your body? I'm not saying I'm advocating for it, but I'm like, man, I can. At one point, they said alcohol was illegal, and then they just turned around and just made it pretty much a business to where they could profit off of it, and now it's just around every corner. And weed is just regular, which, at my opinion, it should never have been illegal. Who's to say any of these other things won't evolve into being illegal so that you just buy it at the street? And then humans are weird, right? People only want things when you can't have them. And I think once you put them available for everybody to get, sometimes it's like, nah, I'm good. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's just, I don't know. Again, it goes to the fact that I think people are, I think we are what we think the world has told us to be.
Bro, but at the same time, I think the only thing that bugs me about that, I agree with you. Humans have a capacity for, like, complexity and being different like no other creature on the planet. But we have tried and true methods that have kind of shown, all right, it's you know what it is? It's people being selfish. Like how you talking right now, your level of understanding. But see, I know you, bro. So it's like what you live and how much you understand. That's a beautiful thing. I get it. You're open-minded dude, but you operate your life along the same line of kind of how we even like are talking right now. So I respect that, man. It's like I take it to account, bro. You might not. It's not just about the individual. Other people actually need to hear the stuff we be talking about. It's not, as much as open-minded you might be, with your closest of kin or family or whatnot, you gonna carry it a certain way because you know better. It's like that know better part. It's like, yeah, everybody has their own life to live out to figure out their truth. But what we have to help guide, assist in that wisdom.
Yeah.
The argument
true.
for wisdom, it makes the argument for itself.
That's very true. But I'll leave on this note, right? Not leave, but I'll leave it at this note. For me, I know what kind of father I want to be. I know what kind of leader I want to be. I know what the expectation I want for my wife and my daughter. But what I don't know is how I'm going to change in 5 to 10 years, how the world's going to change, and what's going to be acceptable or not acceptable.
You have to adjust.
You have to adjust because you can't be the guy that's like, well, in my day, da 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 da. I'm like, nah. I wanna adapt to the environment because I don't want to be behind. Because if I'm leading my family, I got to be ahead of the curve. I can't lead them in the wrong direction just because I think this is right.
But if that curve is headed towards complete destruction, it's like, and
you
as a whole,
you make an adjustment. You're responsible, so make that adjustment. Make that judgment call.
Yeah, man.
But that's
I know about to wrap it up. I want to say this. A lot of I'm very imaginative, man. And we've never experienced in our minute time in America, we've never had like war on our front. And I'm big into history to some extent. And, I do fear. I fear how bad things can get if shit isn't checked. If somebody doesn't, So I'll admit that much, man. A lot of what drives me is fear. I think about the collective and I'm like,
Man, that's crazy because my theme of the year is attacking fear. Mm-hmm. Like I'm gonna go.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go skydiving this year. I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights.
Facts.
I'm gonna be the pilot.
I'm scared of that.
Let me video it, bro. Let me video it, man.
No. But yeah, that's funny that you even say that. I've been trying to attack fear because if you live life letting fear drive you, are you driving yourself or are you letting fear drive you? And that's kind of where I'm operating.
Fair enough.
Right now,
I respect it, bro. Perspective. Why you always get so deep, man?
Hey, that's the whole point, isn't it? I don't come here to have cushy conversations. I mean, some days are cool.
Till the next time, man. Perspective is everything. Y'all good? Right, any final thoughts? We good?
So are you just...
Minimum 20 years sentence for false accusations.
But yeah, everyone say, I love the girl, man. So I say, I just talk on act, you see me?
What he said?
What?
Dog, man, I say, I love the girl, man. You see me? I don't want a girl feel like I love them.
Sound like he's spitting game.
Sound
like he's spitting
game.
Yeah,
man, you see it? On a sexy, nice.
Talk that talk.
Well, alrighty then.
All right.